in Manchester are eased.
After almost 6 months at home, many children in England and Wales are returning to the classroom.
Good morning. Another incredible comeback from Andy Murray. The man with the metal hip fights from 2 sets down at the US Open.
Good morning, it's Wednesday, it's the 2nd of September and the Scottish Government has announced a 2-week quarantine rule for people arriving home from Greece. Those restrictions come into force tomorrow morning.
It comes as travellers arriving back into Wales from the Greek island of Zante are told to self-isolate for 14 days after a rise in coronavirus cases there.
The UK Government will be meeting with the devolved administrations today to discuss more quarantine rules. Greg Mackenzie has this report.
Last week, at least 16 people tested positive for COVID-19 after arriving back to Cardiff from the Greek island of Zante. Some on that TUI flight, including staff, had been accused of not adhering to safety precautions.
Customers know that they're supposed to be wearing masks on board. It is their responsibility to do so. And our crew are trained and enforce that. But it is a difficult thing to enforce, especially in an aircraft where you're not necessarily in the cabin as much as you would have been before, again, because of social distancing protocols with COVID.
It's led to the travel firm TUI to stop offering holidays to the resort of Leganos on Zante, a popular destination for large groups of young people. The Welsh Health Minister, Vaughan Gething, says there are currently 6 clusters of cases amounting to 30 new infections linked to flights from Greece, which he claims have landed not only in Wales, but also in Scotland and England too. Last night, the Scottish Government imposed a 14-day quarantine restriction for anyone returning to Scotland from Greece as of tomorrow morning.
It is spreading again, particularly in these 3 local authority areas, and we believe that in these areas it is spreading primarily as a result of household gatherings.
Ministers say the move comes due to a significant rise in COVID-19 cases being brought into Scotland from people who've been to Greece. The UK government is now facing mounting pressure from the Welsh Health Minister to reimpose quarantine rules for Greece, but the Department for Transport says no changes to its rules had been made. It's understood the UK government is considering putting Portugal back on the quarantine list for all 4 nations, that's England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland, after cases there this week went over 20 per 100,000 people, which is the marker for introducing quarantine measures. Greg Mackenzie, BBC News.
Lockdown measures are now back in force in parts of Scotland following a rise in cases of coronavirus.
The restrictions have been brought in around Glasgow and surrounding areas, affecting hundreds of thousands of people. The rules mainly concern visits to other households. They will last for 2 weeks. They'll be reviewed after 1 week. Let's speak to our reporter Katie Hunter, who's in Glasgow for us this morning, and can run us through